What's up, creeps? And happy Friday the 13th. You know, some folks, such as yourself, have a strange idea of entertainment. You're here for a brand new special edition episode of what's that show called that we are? I don't even know the name anymore. What the
Brain Stew!
Yeah, Brain Stew, baby. On Friday the 13th, this is a special edition Friday the 13th countdown, and we're going to be talking about the kills, the nitty-gritty, that bloody shit, the gore, the guts, all that stuff you love so much. That's the reason you watch the fucking movies in the first place. But Jeremy, we couldn't do this shit alone. It's just way too big. It's too vast. It's too epic, right?
The nitty-gritty and Deborah Voorhees titties, I said.
Oh. Yeah, so we have a guest, right?
We could not do this alone. Strike that. We would not, and we should not. That is why we brought our very good friend, Kellen, from Kellen's Petty Talk Show, man.
What's up?
Stoked to have you, man. You know, we've been buds for a long time, and, you know, I've guested on your show several times. Like, dude, I'm a fan of your show. Like, I love it, and
thanks,
you know,
man.
Anytime I get to go on your show and talk, it's always a great time. But when I'm not on your show, I listen to your show, because it's fantastic, and you get great guests, and dude, your conversation is just so natural on your show. And dude, stoked to have you here, and stoked to have you talking about something that I know that you love, which is the Friday the 13th franchise.
Absolutely, dude. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, of course, man. It's an absolute pleasure. I love what you do too. And for our listeners out there that are unfamiliar, the uninitiated, if you will, give our listeners a little bit of interest, like in like an idea of what your show is all about.
Well, I just kind of change up the guests from time to time. I'll do like some musicians, I'll have actors on, some directors, and I just have, like a natural conversation with them. I work on a bunch of questions over a period of 1 to 2 weeks usually. And we just kind of go to town and have this long conversation, and they always range from like 1 hour to 4 hours, depending on how good it goes. But it's just fun. I don't know. I just enjoy doing it.
Sounds like a blast, man.
Sweet. So speaking of Friday the 13th, so you're an autograph collector like me. Our listeners know that I collect autographs. I'm into memorabilia.
No, they don't.
Oh, they goddamn better. Well, should be. So speaking of Friday the 13th, you just had a weird encounter with somebody and a Friday the 13th poster from like 2 days ago, right?
Oh man, am I allowed to talk about this?
Yeah,
always,
fuck 'em.
Dude.
Fuck
everything, everything. There's no boundaries on this shit, man.
I met Lawrence Monison, I think is how you say his name. I was at a screening of The Last American Virgin, and him and Diane, what's her face? Diane Franklin were there. So, of course, naturally, I had to bring my Friday 13th, the final chapter Blu-ray with me to get it signed. A little graph.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this huge-ass line. The screening was obviously going to start late, because the line was just way down to the end of the aisle of the theater. And I go up to the guy, and I was like, hey, like, can I get you to sign my Blu-ray? He's like, yeah. And he's like, how do you spell your name? And I'm like, Kellen. That's Kellen. 2 E's, 2 L's. Motherfucker puts an A.
Kellen.
And I go to my seat to look at. He signed a poster. I brought the Blu-ray, and he was like, "Yo, I have a Friday 4 poster. Like, would you rather just have that?" And I'm like, "Okay, sure. Yeah, that's actually cooler." So I let him do the poster. Yeah, he puts an A. I go back to my seat, and I'm like, "Motherfucker." And then I get up. I go back to the line. Like, the movie's about to start, and luckily they were going to delay the movie anyway. So I got in the back of the line, and I told the guy, he's like, "Oh, you're back?" And I'm like, yeah, the guy wrote the wrong letter on my poster, and I'm just going to ask him to fix it real quick. So I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, man, like, you accidentally put an A. Like, can you just fix that for me real quick? And long story short, he was just kind of like, he was like, oh, that is an E. And I'm like, no, it's not.
That's very much an A.
It was very much an A, right? You saw it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And so I was like, what? Okay. And I'm like, yeah, can you just tweak that a little bit? And he's just like, yeah, sure. And then he grabs a pen that sort of looked like a silver, but I could almost tell it was the wrong one. And he even could tell. He was like looking at it weird. And then anyways, he doesn't test it or anything. He just goes for it, and it's the wrong color. It's like a very dark gray or some other color. And so he screwed it up.
Further making the A
Yeah.
that doesn't belong in your name even more noticeable.
Even more noticeable. And I'm just like, oh, really? And then he's like, oh, and then he goes, and then he signs his name again, literally above the other signature, and puts like an arrow, and then he goes, see, man, it's just like when you make a mistake on your homework assignment.
Oh.
I was like, dude, you're the worst.
Don't go into the light, Kellen.
Yeah,
don't go into the light, Kellen.
and so I was just like, damn. He's like, is that okay? And I'm like, I guess.
I mean, it is what it is at this point, dude. I had Mick Garris one time. I fucking put
him.
Critters 2 out in front of him. I was like, hey, would you mind signing this? And he was like, yeah. And it was like a long story, but we hadn't had an exchange on Facebook or whatever. So, dude, he literally wrote to Jason, and then he looked at me and he goes, Jason, right? Like he knew he fucked up, and I was like, oh man, it's Jeremy. And he was like, shh. Damn it.
What was the poster? Critters 2?
Critters 2, yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
he literally put an X through it and wrote to Jeremy next to it, but you can still see that it originally said to Jason. I was like,
horrible.
Well, this is a free autograph, so it is what it is,
Dude, that's funny. The only other time a person hit me with the AN was friggin' Heather Donahue from Blair Witch. So I don't think I'll ever get another one from her because I don't think she's signing anymore.
Dude, last little tangent, I swear. So speaking of Blair Witch and fuck ups, I was at a VIP party one time, and I was so fucking trashed that I walked up to the dude Josh, and his last name is escaping me, from Blair Witch Project.
Leonard.
Yeah. Dude, and I walked up to him, and I was wasted, and I was like, hey, man, I really liked you in this other movie, blah, 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 and I named it, and he was like, I wasn't in that movie. And I was like, and I looked at him, and I was like, no. It was the moment from Billy Madison where he's like, me and her got it on. He's like, no, you didn't. Nope. No, we didn't. So he was like, I wasn't in that movie, and I stopped, and I just paused, and I went, nope, no, you weren't. What? But you can imagine what it'd be like if you were. All right, well, goodbye. And I just like walked away. Like, all right, time to get another drink.
That Joshua Leonard is one hot piece of ace.
I know from experience.
I once mistook John Sayles for like his money collector. But I mean, who's gonna know? I mean, I didn't know what he looked like. I just didn't care.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awkward, but whatever.
So Friday the fucking 13th.
And yes, that's right. That's why we're here. The hockey mask, the sack head, the machete, the knife,
the mama,
the sleeping
not
bag
the mama.
Kill. It's seriously, this is probably one of the most celebrated horror franchises of all time, if not the most celebrated. Sorry, Freddie. Just saying, like overall, within the general audience and the fandom, if you will, it's that hockey mask goes everywhere. It always has. So the kills are the most memorable thing about this shit, and we're going to be talking about them right now. Top 5, and we got to start number 5 with our guest. So, Kellen, why don't you start us off, my friend, with your number 5 top kill from the Friday the 13th franchise?
Okay, so we're narrowing it down to the best, right?
Yeah, that's right. From 5 to 1, and then after that, if we have honorable mentions, we'll definitely mention them.
Absolutely. All right. Well, there's this one film that's got the hitchhiker character. Which film is that, Jeremy?
Are you asking Friday the 13th?
Yes. Which film is that?
Part 1. I
know where Kellen's going, but there's hitchhikers in more than one, right? So
okay.
The banana hitchhiker.
Yeah, I got it.
I misspoke. There you go. Which film is that, Jeremy?
Bro, first of all, it's been a very long time since I've watched all the Friday the 13th films, and on top of that, I've probably mentioned this on the show before. I am a casual Friday the 13th fan. I do not worship at the Cathedral of Friday the 13th. I worship at Elm Street and Halloween. So as far as like certain specifics and things like that, dude, you're gonna have to go with B-Ratty or Justin.
I gotta say this though, the coolest thing about the prep for this episode, Kellen, is the little video you sent me earlier when you're like, I'm fucking ready, and it was you squeezing a banana in your car. I literally about fell out of my fucking seat because I was like in the middle of doing something for work. I was like, and I said it to my wife because she loves the final chapter. She's like, oh my god, that's really funny. And if you make my wife laugh, that means everything. So.
Dude, it's great. Yeah, and I think you said the final chapter is playing near you on.
That's right. We booked it at Alamo Draft House for Friday the 13th. So, which I've booked it before. I've done like a full hosting, screening, and everything, and it always does extremely well. It's my personal favorite of the entire series.
Yeah, it's definitely up there. But yeah, the banana kill hitchhiker is hilarious, and it's mean spirited as it may sound, but. You want to get that girl hacked up, watching that, she's kind of a dork and you're just waiting for it, which is awesome. But, it's kind of a mean spirited kill. He just kind of comes out of nowhere. And, she really gives off that needs to be murdered aura, if you will. And she's like gripping her banana as she's getting stabbed.
I mean, bro, all she wants is a fucking ride. She just wants peace and love, a ride, and she wants to enjoy her banana in peace. And she's murdered.
She's cringy though. She deserves it.
Oh shit!
But I love how she like grips the banana as she's getting stabbed in the back of the throat.
Yeah, the close up.
The thing just fucking bends and flops out of her hand.
What would have made that even better is if they added a fart noise in there too. Like she was just letting it all go.
That would have been great. Oh, like as she's like sitting there like, ugh.
Yeah. Dude, that would immediately be my favorite kill of the franchise if they would have just added that one little minute thing in. Like, it'd be the banana fart kill. That's my favorite.
Sometimes it adds to the cinematic masterpiece of the film. It's just adding a little fart.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Can't go wrong with a little fart.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you can't go wrong with a little fart.
That's as we talked about in the last couple episodes. Yeah, let's not go there here. This isn't a poopy episode. It's a Friday the 13th.
Poopy.
We'll get back to poop next week, I promise.
Yeah, but yeah, that kill is definitely like knee-slappingly funny. So I love it.
Awesome. All right. Yeah. So next up, we'll do our normal, whatever ranking, if you will. So Brady, young man, why don't you go ahead with your number 5?
Yeah. So number 5 for me comes from one of my favorites of the franchise. It's the original Friday the 13th, and I know it gets a lot of shit, gets a lot of hate. It doesn't really have Jason, and a lot of people kind of put it at the bottom of their list, but there's a storyline in there between Kevin Bacon's Jack and Marcy that I really, really enjoy, and I think that it adds to the gravitas of the film, if you will. But Jack's kill with the arrow through the bed, through the neck, while he's smoking a joint is something that's always stuck with me. Like, I think it's the most horrifying kill in that entire movie. And I think it's just great. And then going back and watching like Camp Crystal, like memories and how they had like everything they had to go through for that just to get that amazing kill just makes it even better. The blood squirting everywhere. Yeah. And just like when he's laying there and the blood starts trickling on him and he's like, what the fuck? And then the hand just comes around with the music. Oh, perfect. That's my number 5.
I love how the blood pouring out, it was like a mistake. How they were like, the blood wasn't coming out, so they were squeezing harder, and then that's why it started to swirl out like fucking, you're a kid and you're like trying to get the chocolate milk to come out of the Hershey's thing, and like it's like all over the place. No, that's great.
Hell yeah,
it's a fantastic choice. It's a great kill.
I love Brady. I love that kill so much that it is also my number 5.
Ooh, shit! Already a crossover.
Jack,
that's crazy.
Mr. Kevin Bacon. Dude, that kill, man, that movie in general, just it changed the slasher, it changed the horror landscape that we knew, and a big part of that was fucking Tom Savini, man. He had really started cutting his teeth, especially after Dawn of the Dead. And like, as you guys know, or maybe don't know, is, he was like a war photographer in Vietnam. And, he photographed like tons of dead and fallen people. So he wanted to get a lot of realism in his special effects work. And I mean, dude, that kill was unlike anything people had really seen to that time, because it was the realism of like seeing Kevin Bacon's like actual face and his head and his hair mixed with the prosthetic neck that the arrow was, going to go through under the bed. And like, he was like kind of sitting up to where it looked like he was actually laying on the bed. It's just, it's a brilliant gag, and it's fucking disgusting looking. And he's enjoying, about to smoke a post-sex joint, and what a way to go. At least, I don't know, man. I think it's just a great kill, and I think other horror fans think it's a great kill as well, because that's pretty much the number one Kevin Bacon Friday the 13th autograph that you will ever see on eBay or anywhere else is literally that image, because it's fucking iconic. So that's my number 5.
It's a great option. It may or may not be showing up in my top 5, but I will say this much. And I've seen the movie on 35 millimeter, but also the recent Scream Factory Blu-rays that are 4K restorations. They're 1080p Blu-ray discs, but unfortunately time has not been kind to those effects. If you watch them on like a 4K OLED television, you can see that rubber fucking neck now. It's kind of disheartening when you like grew up watching these movies on VHS and now you're like, some of the effects work holds up, but most of it doesn't. So still a great kill though. It's amazing. It's iconic. And like, it's the entryway into Kevin Bacon. So
yeah. And they've replicated the bed kill a few times throughout the series, right? I mean, it's come back. Like
in different ways,
different variations, But in other
even Kellen, like the angle and everything. Your number 5 pick, Savini came back for the final chapter. He did the same from back of the neck into the throat kill. Yeah, that's his trademark. So it was awesome to see that. But
yeah,
I'll pop in here. My number 5 comes from Friday the 13th, Part 2, a Steve Dash kill. Poor Mark. Dude is in a fucking wheelchair, for fuck's sake. Dude, he's just trying to get his dick wet, man. He's just
about to get laid.
He's literally about to get laid. Seriously, a guy in a wheelchair in the 80s. I mean, that was probably hard to do, right? I mean, he's a great looking guy. And in real life, the actor was gay. But I mean, I'm sure he still would have banged this chick, right? And dude, he gets a machete, backwards machete, mind you, backwards machete to the face. And then in the rain rolls down a huge flight of concrete stairs. It is one of the most mean-spirited and visually stunning kills of the entire series. I love this kill so fucking much because it's so mean-spirited. And I feel for poor Mark, because I'm like, he's a nice guy. He's just sitting there. They're playing video games. He's like, probably like, I'll never have this opportunity again to get laid like this, And then for some reason, she goes to like, I'm going to go change. I'm like, you look fine. Why are you changing? Like,
she was going to freshen up.
She just changed her underwear and shit. Like, just stood there and looked in the mirror. Like, you got killed because of that. That's stupid. But either way, I'm glad it happened, because then I got to see Mark get murdered, and I love seeing him get murdered. So that.
And in the rain, dude.
And in the rain.
The rain adds so much to that scene. It's so cool.
Well, it makes the wheels slicker, so they go a lot faster.
The stunt itself is wonderful. It's beautifully done. It's just again, I love the mean spiritedness of that kill, particularly throughout that movie. It just always is a high point. Every time I know it's coming up, I get excited and giddy like a little fucking kid. So that is my number 5. It's poor Mark Jarvis, and he's a Jarvis, which is weird, but he's.
That was a dickish move for Jason.
Yeah. Fuck you, Jason.
Yeah, fuck you.
All right, we'll move on. We're already going down the line. Shit, guys. We are at number 4. Kellen, what do you got, my friend?
Okay. Crispin Glover in Friday 4, the final chapter. He gets the classic cleaver to the face, after researching the dark kitchen.
Love this one.
A corkscrew. Yeah, it's great. And it kind of makes me think that Halloween H2O kind of homages that scene, where the guy from Jumanji does like the same kind of thing, kind of looks for I think it was a corkscrew in H2O. But it's just a great scene, very quick shot for the kill. But, once you see the blood just piling over his face, it works perfectly. And the darkness of that whole shot it just matches well.
Dude, you just made me realize that the dude from H2O was in Jumanji.
Was the Jumanji kid. He
I
plays
had no fucking idea.
Yeah, he plays Alan in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Freckles,
crazy.
man. Yeah, same kid.
Oh,
I found that out only maybe like 5 years ago. So We're kind of in the same boat. I didn't know that until sort of recently.
That never fucking clicked for me.
I didn't know it until I got the 4K Ultra HD of Jumanji, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my God, that's the kid from H2O. Like, as a kid, obviously, I saw Jumanji first because I saw it when it came out, and then I saw H2O in theaters, but I never connected the fucking dots. I was too young and stupid. I was probably ripped, too. So
anytime, and I've probably told this story, too, anytime I think about Jumanji, I just think about vomiting because I
love it.
It's true. So I went to go see Jumanji in the theaters with my buddy Jarrod when we were kids. Different Jarrod than you guys.
Subway?
But that one. That would have been a fucking wild theater experience, let me tell you. But so dude, I went to go see Jumanji with my buddy, and like we got the fucking like biggest order of popcorn. And I fucking, dude, we polished off the whole bucket, right? We were kids. So I'm like, wow, popcorn. Dude, didn't know it, but I had like come down with the flu, but the symptoms hadn't kicked in yet until literally we got back to his house. His mom drove us back to his house. We were supposed to have a sleepover, and like, dude, as I got out of the car, I was like, like The Exorcist, but it was nothing but fucking popcorn. And because I ate so much popcorn, like it just kept coming and coming and coming. And I swear to God, I literally, like, with popcorn now, I can eat like a handful or a couple handfuls at the most, because any more than that, I'm like, I'm starting to feel sick, man. It's like that fucking, that popcorn puke tremor. I'm like, it's coming back. So
great.
yeah, fun little story for you.
That's amazing.
You said no poop, but you did not say no puke.
Yeah.
hey, no, puke is totally separate from that, and it happened from being at the movies, so that's totally different.
Damn, what year was that? It was like mid 90s, late 90s,
early 90s, right?
Jumanji was, I believe,
93.
No, it came after Jurassic Park. It's 94, 95.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, because the ILM did the effects, and they were not ready after they did Jurassic Park to do like lions and monkeys and shit.
It was,
Pretty sure it was 94. Pretty sure it was actually
95.
Yeah, there you go.
December 15th,
and it was 9 because I saw that shit in theaters opening weekend. Because back then I saw everything in theaters opening weekend, or else I would scream and cry like a little bitch. So,
yeah,
Brady, we're on to you. Number 4.
Number 4 is in fact my favorite Friday movie too. Not the same kill though. My number 4 kill comes in the shower when poor Doug just got laid and he's soaping up and he drops the soap and Jason just shoves his head into the bathroom tile and crushes it. Like, I have always loved this kill. There's one kill in this movie that is gonna come up later, I'll say, but this one, it's just, oh man, like I always felt so bad for him because everybody else, gets thrown out a window or gets their throat slashed or gets something quick, but his is like, can you imagine just like being there and you're fighting it and there's just this hand slowly pushing you further and further into the tile until your head just caves in. Like, that's just bonkers, man.
I feel so terrible for him because he's probably the most beautiful looking male specimen I've ever seen, and he's getting that beautiful chiseled jawline smashed into the tiles. And I love that. I heard Joseph Zito say when he was making the movie, he really wanted to reverse the Psycho theme, the girl in the shower thing, but make the guy super attractive. So when he gets killed, it's even more of an impact. So he's like, he looks like a male model. I'm pretty sure he was along the lines of that before he made the movie, but it was so impactful. I love that. It's one of the most visceral kills in the entire series for sure. Because there's no weapon or anything. He's literally just like, dude, the amount of force it would take to smash your head through fucking a bathroom tile wall. That's crazy.
It's just weird that like Jason couldn't just wait till he was out of the bathroom. Like, I feel like Michael Myers and other, serial killers from horror movies would actually wait and, let them finish their shower or their bath. Stalk.
Yeah. A little more playful. Yeah, Jason in the
Jason
final
doesn't have
chapter.
time for that.
Yeah, he's not fucking around with that shit.
He's no count to get those numbers up with, man. He's got to go through that whole house and the dog. Come on. Yeah. All right, Jeremy, you're up.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Jeff and Sandra from probably my favorite Friday the 13th film, Part 2.
Really?
It's another death in the bed situation, dude. They're, they get fucking killed while they're having sex. Like both of them.
They're penetrated during penetration.
Yes. Yes. And
That's great.
I remember watching this as a kid and being like, yo, they're fucking doing it. And I'm like, and that's cool. One day, I'm gonna do it. And then Jason kills them. I'm like, fuck.
Maybe
That's my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Is this something I need to worry about when I eventually do get to do it?
The biggest thing for me, real quick, was that they were doing it in like a hammock. And I was like, you kind of deserve to die there. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not great.
I'm not a big fan of the whole potato sack thing. I think that was a little weird in that one.
You know, that's totally the town that dreaded sundown, and like I get it, and
And the strangers.
Exactly, yeah. I feel they did that too, but I feel like they to them that was scary. It's like this fucking Jason's got a machete.
Houston.
Old Houston holding up a machete. But yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like, you know, this was, you know, they were like, oh, that's fucking scary. They saw it in another film and they thought it might work for their film, and you know, obviously, fans prefer the hockey mask, but I can dig the sackhead Jason all day long. I've got a sideshow. I've got a sideshow like 12-inch figure that has sackhead Jason, and I fucking love it because I love that guy. R.I.P. Steve Dash, the real Jason.
Dude,
Fuck
he was
you,
amazing.
Gillette.
And I don't mean to say
Motherfucker.
I don't mean to say like it's a bad character, because he's definitely one of the cooler Jasons just by his like force of his kills and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Just the potato sack's like a little silly, but it definitely works at times. Like I don't know. It's like the more you think about it, the sillier it is. But like some of the shots were pretty terrifying. So
yeah,
but it's cool.
Justin.
Oh shit! Is it my number 4? Oh right, yeah, I'm here, baby. This actually came up recently when we did our horror remakes episode, and I had to include it because I realized after all these years how much it resonated with me and what it means to me as a person. I dream of it. I think about it when I want to feel happy inside, when I'm feeling down. This comes from the Friday the 13th remake, A Derek Mears Kill. Amanda.
Ooh.
After getting some penetration, not full penetration, and tempting a sexual encounter, she is burned the fuck alive inside of a sleeping bag, hung over a fire
good.
by Jason Voorhees. And while I love the original Kane Hodder sleeping bag kill, which we saw twice, we saw it in The New Blood, and then we saw it again in Jason X, for some reason, this one is way meaner, way scarier. And when this is actually happening and she's burning alive, it's fucking scary. I remember being there opening night, midnight showing, sold out crowd, and people actually like freaking out over that kill. Like people were scared of that shit. I mean, it's different if you're in the sleeping bag and you're like, you're getting hit against a fucking tree. You're probably out after 1 or 2 hits, right? Like you're crushed. But you're being burned alive in a sleeping bag. You know you're burning alive and you can't get out of that thing. Way more terrifying, way more scary, way more visceral. And it's, you know, kind of an opening into what Derek Mears' portrayal of Jason was, what that version they were trying to do in the remake was. He was this animalistic fucking creature of the woods, but intelligent. He wasn't totally stupid. He wasn't a Neanderthal all the way, but he had this sensibility and a strategy to his kills. He hung her up, man, over the fire. Like, I mean, part of me wishes that he like ate her later on, but that's like, again, way out of Jason's range of what he does. But still, he cooked that bitch up, just saying. And it was fucking amazing.
Dude, I fucking love that remake. Dude, that absolutely buries the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Super a million times over, for sure. I mean, I'm a huge advocate. And again, I thank that remake for, you know, a conversation starter between me and Jeremy, because the first time we met, that was one of the first things we talked about was the Friday remake in general. And I've always been an advocate for it. You know, I think the first time I watched it, I was a little off on it, but I could see that the first 4 movies were there. Like that inspiration was there. And I think they, you know, there was a lot of care and precision that when it came to making that movie. And I still think people shit on it for no reason. I think there's a lot of stuff to love about it. People just can't accept the fact that it's a Friday movie that doesn't take place in the 80s. I get it, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah.
like I'm all about the 80s. I live the 80s every day of my life, but it's still like everyone's like, it should have been set in the 80s. I mean, sure, cool. I would have been cool with that, but still, you need modern audiences to also connect. You know,
Derek Mears was a badass too in that.
He's amazing.
He's such a
dude.
nice guy too, man.
So nice.
Yeah, one of my favorite Jasons. So yeah, my number 4 is the sleeping bag kill modified from the
Great
Friday
choice.
the 13th remake. Yeah, man. So right back to you, Kellen, man. We're down to top 3. Holy shit. This is probably the fastest countdown we've ever done.
Well, this is going to go quick, I guess, because it's one that was already said. Friday 2, Mark's death, you know.
Yeah.
The paraplegic takes a plunge. The character in the wheelchair, you know, he gets
The paraplegic takes a plunge.
Dude, I thought of that like 5 minutes ago, I swear to God. But the character, you know, in the wheelchair, he gets an axe to the face. It's a quick kill, but the shot of the guy flying down the steps is just truly iconic. And like I said, I love the rain, I love the darkness, and you see like the lightning kind of flashing over the stairs as he's flying down them. And like you said, it's mean spirited, but it's awesome, and we love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're all very
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
Thanks, Kellen. So for my number 3, I'll just go for it. It's from one of my least favorite Friday movies, which is Part 3, 3D. I hate this. I hate these characters. I get it. You know, Jason gets his mask. Justin always says, hey, man, you just never saw it in 3D like it should be. I don't think it would make that much of a difference to me at this point.
Well, guess what? I have some really special news that I can't talk about right now. Like some really awesome, amazing news that has to do with that. So,
Just are you that guy that in school you're like, I just got some crazy information, and your friends would be like, well, what is it? Can't tell you right now.
no, Jeremy,
tell us.
I'll tell you off the fucking air. Like you do the same thing to me. Don't tell anyone, but bro.
What?
No, yeah. The only reason I can't say anything right now is because it has to do with
Because you don't
now.
trust our listeners. You
No,
don't trust
yeah.
our listeners.
I
Just
don't
say it,
actually.
Justin.
Fuck you.
Just fucking say
Fuck
it.
you, listeners.
right now.
Seriously, because you'll ruin it and tell Paramount Pictures that we said what we said, and yeah, no. But
I said what I said.
go ahead,
God
Brady.
damn it.
Go ahead, Brady. You'll get your opportunity. I'll say that much.
For the listeners, Justin's big secret to tell Paramount is that they're actually remaking Friday the 13th Part 3. But no, my favorite, that would be cool. My favorite kill, or my third favorite kill, is Andy in Part 3 in his crotch kill, where he's walking on his hands getting the beer, and Jason just fucking whacks him in half right through the fucking dick, man. Fwap. Fwap, fwap, fwap. But, and then after that, man, where he's just like, he stuffs him up in the ceiling across the, across like the wooden beams, man. It's just, it's mean-spirited. The slow motion when he's cut in half, it's so fucking good. And while I hate this movie, it has a couple good kills in it. I hate this movie. I hate it. Like, I will skip it when I watch, like, the series.
So when you
the
say you
series.
hate it, like, you mean you hate it more than Jason Goes to Hell? Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah. I can actually enjoy a lot of Jason Goes to Hell, but it's these characters, man. I fucking hate them all.
But Brady's all about, like, he's known now on Twitter. He's known
what
for
about
the
the guy
hot
that-
takes. So
What about the guy that eats all the food in the store in the beginning? That guy's cool.
Shelley?
No, the store.
dude, the dude with his
yeah,
rabbit,
yeah.
man. He's
With
fucking
his
awesome.
rabbit.
With this
Fuck that
piece of
guy.
shit wife who's nagging
fucking
on
eating
him.
all
I'm
the
like,
food, like
dude, if I had a wife like that, I'd be eating the fucking donuts and carrying around my rabbit too, man. I'd be like, fuck her, man. I'm gonna go on here, eat these donuts, go take my shit.
Yeah. So that's. I'm glad Andy gets killed because I fucking hate him, but.
yeah.
Are you mad because he's trying to bang his girlfriend who's pregnant? Is that your
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah, that's my problem.
Dude, that used to be the first bearable of the franchise for me. Like, no joke.
Really?
Like in terms of, like, I would skip the first two and go right to that. But now I've
It's a
gotten
hockey mask, right?
I mean, maybe, but, like, I don't know. I've never been a big fan of the first one, to be completely honest.
I'm right there with you, man.
I think it's kind of slow and boring as shit. And the second one has grown on me a lot. Amy Steele is fucking amazing. And, like, Steve Dash, of course. So, but yeah, the third one's great. I like it. But I understand why you're not like super into it though.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you're not into it, Brady. You're fucking wrong. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Go to bed right now.
As Justin says, film is subjective, so we can all have our own opinions.
Can't spank you on your ass and send you to bed.
Hey, I'd like to just point out that it makes me uncomfortable that the Munsters is going to be 3 hours.
Okay. Wait, what? Is it really?
You really want to go there? See, I see what you're doing.
Oh, is that a joke?
I'm gaslighting him.
Oh,
He's
man,
gaslighting me, but it's actually I think it's hilarious that people are bitching that it's 2 hours and 38 minutes. The cut that they're running right now is 2 hours and 38 minutes. That does not mean that's the final fucking runtime of the movie. People are like, oh my god, a 3 hour long Monsters movie. I'm like, you're stupid. Just
Here's
wait.
the thing, I would fucking watch a 3 hour long Monsters movie.
Well, so would I.
Yo,
but
same.
It's a couple episodes back to back. Come on.
Even
I'm
if it is Rob Zombie's movie.
I'm still kind of upset that it's not rated R. I wanted to see like the trailer trash humor that we usually get. But
You're the only one, bro.
You
You're
would
the
see
only
one of the
one.
monsters tell
brains
somebody
out.
he'd skull fuck them. Yeah.
dude, that would have been amazing.
I'm Herman Munster. Suck my monster cock, motherfucker.
Dude, and did they change the makeup? Because I noticed like those first pictures that they released were pretty bad. I thought of Herman, and now I saw a more recent picture. He looked a lot better.
Well,
Yeah, I
the
don't
original photos were makeup test photos.
Were they? Okay,
Yeah.
that's probably what it is then.
Probably testing the waters to see what fans
Yep.
respond to.
Yeah, no, it looks great now. I'm looking really forward to it. But
From what I've been told from someone who is close to the production is that Rob Zombie did a faithful adaptation of the original TV show, and that fans of the original show are going to love it. So I
that's
believe that.
Exactly what I expect from him, because it's like one of his favorite things of all time. So yeah.
There's no chance he's going to flub this one.
Oh, there's a chance. Don't see it.
Don't say that.
Well, like you said though, it's like his favorite thing of all time.
We know filmmakers that have the deepest admiration and love of a certain story or whatever it may be, or a certain film, and they remake it or they adapt it, and it's still a piece of shit. So that's
Danny McBride loves Halloween, and he wrote Halloween Kills. So I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, let's move on. Well, we haven't bashed that movie in a while.
Fuck Halloween Kills.
I'm gonna bash that movie for the rest of my fucking life.
All right,
man.
so back to Friday the 13th. Though.
Number 3 for me.
Number three.
God damn it. So Mark from Friday the 13th Part 2 again. Friday the 13th Part 2 is probably my favorite out of the franchise. We've already talked about this one a few times so far. Dude, he's handicapped. He's in a fucking wheelchair. He's about to get laid, man.
He's
Bless
super
his
attractive.
Soul. Bless his soul. He's like, it's like, yo, dude in the wheelchair is about to get it, and then he fucking gets it from fucking Jason, dude. And then, being pushed down the flight of stairs, and like you guys said, in the rain. It made for one of those things that I remember watching this for the first time and thinking like that he had that safety net, because I was like, man, they're not gonna kill this guy. Like, that'd be super fucked up, because I mean, life's already been super fucked up to this guy. And no, they did. They were like, fuck him in that wheelchair. So I don't know. This one always stood out to me because I found it to be super surprising. And I mean, I guess after Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it should have been expected that. Yeah,
there's
Franklin.
a huge difference. One of these characters is likable and very attractive, and the other is like throw him in the ditch and burn him to death.
Shit. Yeah.
Fucking Franklin.
Oh, Sally.
So great.
So yeah, I don't know. Like, go for it.
It's just like, imagine you're playing this character. That would have been a great table read.
Like, I could go on a whole tangent on that. Never mind. Fucking.
How long do you think that it took the cops to find Mark's body, realistically? Because like they're looking around the campsite, and then who just went down to like the steps and was like, "Ah, fuck."
They're like, this is just in damn poor taste. They killed this guy.
They just like kick him in the water.
These
like,
sick.
He didn't stand a chance.
Oh,
See what I did there?
Yeah.
The worst crime is that he was birthed that beautiful face and legs that don't work, but apparently his dick works. So that's, I mean, hey, dude, if he was trying to get
in
it
a car accident, wasn't
I like that she double checked that to make sure that like his shit was like operational. She was like, all right, before I put this on the table, that dick work?
She probably looked down and we didn't see the shot where there was a little stiffy poking out of them pants. So, okay, so that works. All right, I'm ready.
Those 80s whitey tighties, man. Whitey tighties, bro. Dude, I wore whitey tighties
work though. He would
until I was in
no
middle school.
Dude, the best part. So maybe I should become like. Never mind. I won't have to get up again.
Justin, question for you because you're roughly same age as me. Fucking,
I'm older, bitch.
Well, same age, close enough. Dude, how long did you wear whitey tighties for? Like,
do you mean the Batman ones that I got in 1989 that I wore until fucking 1993?
The ones that you wore until last night? No, like.
I'm pretty sure until I started dating in junior high when I realized it wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah, dude, like nobody, like secretly nobody was having the conversation about like, nah, dude, like boxers are now in. Like you, like Kellen and Brady, you guys are much younger.
They're way too young to understand that this was
like the whitey tighties. Yeah, man.
I was homeschooled.
No, I wore them when I was really little.
Yeah.
Brady was homeschooled, which means they walked around naked everywhere.
My dad did. We already went over that last week.
Balls flapping.
In the mouse!
One of the best stories in the history of this show.
Dude,
now I just freeball it. I can't afford laundry.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
well, that's how I am now. I mean, I'm sitting here in my gym shorts. I don't ever wear underwear. Since COVID happened, even my pants now, my shorts, whatever I wear out, I don't wear any underwear.
Growing up, though, we just had the boxers that were like always too big, so they'd hang past your kneecaps. It was almost like wearing shorts under your shorts, but there was no support there. So,
yeah, or when it would like ride up and give you that like, crack rash. Oh.
Yep, but it had the little slit in front, so all you had to do is like if you had to take a piss, you just slid it out the little slit, and there you are. You were good.
A little slot.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But then going through puberty, it like would get constantly stuck in that. Anyways, we don't have to go into that.
As always.
It's funny.
Well, I'll jump on to my number 3 from one of the best films of the series, Friday the 13th, Part 3 in 3D. A Richard Brooker kill. Oh, this is on here because of the fact that it has to be its quintessential Vera shot in the eye by Jason with a spear gun. It is Jason's first on-screen kill of the entire series with the iconic hockey mask. It has to be on my list. It has to be in my top 5. It's also both one of the most hilarious and suspenseful scenes of the entire series, so it had to make the cut. I love how when you're watching the movie for the first time, you're like questioning what's going on. Also, she seems like a bitch the whole rest of the movie, but she's like gonna go into the water to grab a wallet. Like, I don't know. I just love the spear gun going right into her eyeball. And then she just like dramatically falls into, it's not a lake, motherfucker. That shit's like a man-made pond. All right. And then she just like splashes in there, and that's the end of her. And I don't know if you guys agree with me on this. Not you, Jeremy, because I'm sure you don't even know who the fuck that character is. But
I'm the least fanatic of this franchise out of everyone that's on this podcast.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Kellen. Rat-tat-tat-tat. I feel like Vera is from the beginning portrayed as a character where you're not supposed to really like her much. She's kind of like really mean to Shelley, and
yeah, she's bitchy.
I would argue that she's just put in a shitty situation where like everybody there.
Why? Because her date is Shelley. Because he's fat and he's ugly and he likes horror movies and shit.
And he wears masks and fucking pulls pranks on people.
All right.
That's his fault? Okay.
Yeah, that's his fault. That's his fault.
Think about what he had to deal with knowing that that's his date. I mean, she's a very attractive woman, but she's like totally mean to him the entire time.
Let me ask you this. So let's flip the switch here. Let's say, Justin, years ago, your friends were like, hey, we're going to go on this camping trip. We set you up with somebody for the whole weekend, and you're like, fuck yeah, everybody else has somebody, like I'm gonna have someone. You get there and it's somebody,
because I'd be the one with the hottest girl at the thing. So
right. So you get there and the fucker looks like a female version of Shelley. It's the hitchhiker from Part 4. Like, you don't mean to tell me that you wouldn't also be a little bitchy?
I would ask my buddies for
Yeah, you
whatever drugs or alcohol or substances they had.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, hey, we can go in here and if we could turn the lights out, or we can go in the fucking
No.
tent where there's no lights. And then maybe you can do something for me and I'll do something for you. Yeah. It'd be like kind of a reciprocal, you scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of thing.
But that's
So
all we
that-
do. We just scratch backs.
That's back in the day, Brady, we took one for the team and we did what was necessary
oh my God.
to make that touchdown, kick that field goal, if you will, that 3-pointer. It had to be made. So
Points on the
yeah.
board. Yeah, I feel like she kind of got like the shit end of the deal there, and she's just kind of bitchy because of it. I don't think that she's inherently a bitch.
It's not like Shelly's mean.
He's kind of mean. His jokes are like in poor taste.
He doesn't understand that because he's not smart, Brady.
Dude, Shelly looks like he fucking reeks.
Oh my God, that BO that would be filling that van. My brother-in-law, man, when we had to go down to North Carolina a couple years ago for like a family event, and my wife was like, hey, we got to pick up my brother. And I was like, fuck, this is like one clammy ass motherfucker. Like, you shake his hand and you just want to like wash your hands right afterwards. It feels like you touched like a naked crab out of its shell, And so he gets in the car and immediately the car just fills with the worst body odor. And it was like a 4-hour ride and I couldn't say anything. So I start like cracking windows and he's like, can you pull the window up? It's a little cold. And I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me.
I've been in that position. There was this one actor that was in one of these films that I made like almost 10 years ago. And dude, the guy reeked. And it was like not even a 5-minute drive. And my mom was driving and it was like, we all knew it, but nobody wanted to say anything. It was horrible.
Dude, there's a fucking a guy, and I won't go into too many details, but a dude that's in the horror scene and
Lawrence
it's
Monahan.
typical. No, he's not a film actor or whatever, but he's a vendor at some horror shows or whatever, and I had purchased a thing from him, and something happened where like I like picked him up from like one hotel and took him to the host hotel or whatever the fuck. And like, dude, I don't know whether it had just like he had on like a cosplay like jumpsuit, and I don't know whether like he had done yard work and like or like physical activities in this jumpsuit for like years and never washed it, or what the fucking situation was. But my buddy was in the front seat, and then this other guy that was wearing the jumpsuit got in the back seat. And dude, I'm not joking, the car ride was only 2 minutes from one hotel to the other, and he smelled so fucking bad that it was like an indescribable wretched smell to where I looked over at my friend and he looked like he was about to puke. We got out of the car and my buddy was like, I gotta tell you, that guy smelled fucking worse than anything I have ever fucking smelled in my life. And it was a situation where when I came back out to my car hours later after the convention, like the smell was still kind of lingering.
Dude, imagine how Jason smells.
Oh,
That motherfucker.
especially if we're talking about the Jason that from the fucking 2009 movie. He's like digging tunnels and shit like that. Smells
Even
like a
worse,
fucking-
man, the new blood Jason, who's been like sitting at the bottom of Crystal Lake for how long?
I was just gonna say baghead, Jason. Can you imagine what that bag fucking smells like?
True.
Brady,
Yeah. The
can
overalls.
we tell the listeners real quick about some of the worst luck that I've had with having you over?
Oh my God. There are like so many stories of going to Jeremy's house.
I swear to God, my
something
house
going
doesn't
wrong.
stink, but like, dude, there was a few times where Brady came over and like just things went wrong. Go ahead, Brady.
So I went over one time and you guys, I think, had just had Scarlett or something. Scarlett was not a newborn, but a couple months old. And she was fresh. There was something else that was not fresh in that fucking house. So we get in there and I was like almost knocked back out of the doorway by the stench. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And Jeremy was like, okay, so look. Scarlett's been like shitting her brains out, so there's poopy diapers everywhere. So you got marinating poopy diapers. You got the dog had thrown up a little bit earlier because at this point Jeremy's dog just like was the exorcist fucking everywhere. And then in the kitchen they had like days old dirty shrimp water.
No,
just sitting-
night before, motherfucker. But still,
it was disgusting.
I blame my wife on 2 out of 3 of those. I don't blame her for the dog one, but like, I had been at work, she was at home, but like she was like nose blind to the fucking shrimp water, like chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water, you know, and the poopy diaper. Dude, yeah, he fucking Brady walked in and I was like, yo, what is that fucking smell? So there it is.
It was it's something I'll never forget. Definitely a cherished memory.
Cherish it.
Smelled like a Slipknot crowd.
Oh my god.
I guess that is what Jason's bag would have probably smelled like.
Yeah.
Shrimp water and
shrimp water,
baby shit.
Water. Yeah.
Oh,
and all of a sudden, fucking Brady's dad pops out of a closet, butt naked. There's a mouse! There's a mouse! Dick fucking swinging like a pendulum.
Anytime I see a mouse now, I just have PTSD. I'm like, where's my dad?
Where's my dad's dick? Where is it?
I'm getting Brady for Christmas. I'm going to get a nice little mouse.
Oh, Stuart Little. That was my version was definitely different than the movie we got with Michael J. Fox. My parents should not have been able to adopt me. Whose turn is it? Is it Kellen?
I think it's me.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah, because you just did Vera. Yeah.
There we are. Yeah, we're right back. We're actually down to the top 2. Holy shit. This is crazy.
And son of a bitch.
We're there.
I had the same kill. I had the same one. Spear gun, Friday 3.
Are you serious? I think I might love you.
I swear to shit. Dude, first time we get a glance at Jason in the infamous hockey mask, you know, this kill, it works so well, and especially in 3D, because, by the way, I've actually seen it in 3D at the Egyptian Theater 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, so I have to ask, because I know you are a cinephile on the level of myself. Did you see it, the 35 millimeter projected version in 3D?
Yes.
So you've seen how epic this movie is.
It's really fucking good. It's made for 3D. I mean, absolutely.
Yes.
Like this kill in particular is definitely one of the best. It might have been the best. Was it the best 3D moment? It was up there.
It's either
flies at you.
It's either that or the eye popping out, I think. But the eye popping out is obviously, you know, a fake head, so you can tell it's a fake head. But I think, right up there for sure. Definitely right up there.
No, yeah, there's so many different like 3D inserts in the movie that you actually would almost miss just watching the 2D version. There's just some fun shit in there, but meant to be seen on the big screen for sure in 3D. And I'm actually going to see The Barn in June next month. I got an invite. Somebody's gonna give me a tour of the locations there. It's gonna be pretty cool.
Extremely jealous. Extremely jealous.
Dude, fly out. I think Jeremy might be here around the time that happens.
Palooza?
Yeah, it should be around that time. Yeah, so hopefully.
I'd kill to. Honestly, that's one of the things that, you know, in my location stuff that I've done of the past couple of years, the only thing I have done for Friday the 13th is keep going back to fucking the original, you know, Camp Crystal Lake. I've got many stories of getting booted from there that are on old episodes of the show and almost arrested and plenty of things.
That's the New Jersey one, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Blairstown. But that's amazing. I'm fucking super envious of that.
Well, I hope it happens. So
I hope so too. I hope so too, man. I look forward to the pictures. Brady, on to you, man.
Number 2 comes from Jason Lives for me. It's when poor Sheriff Michael Garris confronts Jason to save his daughter Megan, and he's going to town on Jason, man. He's beating him with that fucking stick, and you think he might actually win, and then Jason says, "I've had enough," and fucking folds him in half.
I love that the fact that, you know, Tom McLaughlin was, you know, so tongue in cheek at the time. There's like references to so many different things in that movie, but like he and Mick Garris were such good friends during the period that he named that character after Mick Garris.
Yep. So I think it's just brutal. I wish that, you know, it hadn't have been so heavily censored, and that, excuse me, maybe lingered on it a little longer instead of just that quick cutaway to the rest of it. But I think it still just shows the sheer brutality of this type of Jason that we're getting, like that era of Jason where he's just no holds barred and he is just mowing people down with sheer force and brutality. Like you see a little bit of it in Final Chapter, like with I already talked about Doug through the shower and throwing people out windows, but I think this movie is really when it starts to kick that up a notch, and I just love the kill. I think it's perfect.
Beautiful kill, and I'm not going to lie, man. This one, it was in my top 5 back and forth a bunch of times. I really wanted to include it, but unfortunately, it's on its way to my honorable mentions. But it is one of my favorites, probably because of the fact that, you know, by the time this movie came out, we all know that the MPAA was censoring so much of these movies that, like, any vision that the director had for, you know, the kind of brutality they wanted to convey was so, like, cut back and cut back and cut back that these movies were a shell of what they were intended to be. So, yeah. Great fucking pick, though, man.
I'll be the first one, man. I will be the first one to bring in some Jason X love, baby.
Oh, don't worry, brother. Don't even worry, brother. It's coming.
All right. So, you know, being that I'm not the biggest Friday the 13th fan, I will tell you I fucking love Jason X because Jason X knows exactly what the fuck it is. Todd Farmer, who wrote it, knew exactly what he was writing. He wanted to write a Friday the 13th film in the vein of Aliens, but more fun, more cheese. I love it, dude. We get not only the Jason that we know and love from the previous films, but we get literally an uber fucking Jason, like a robot, like sentient.
We get Power Rangers Jason.
It's like, dude, remember in Ninja Turtle Secret of the Ooze, like there was Shredder and then there was motherfucking Super Shredder. Dude, we literally got Super Shredder, aka Uber Jason and Jason X. I fucking love this movie. A lot of people fucking hate it. Fuck them. Fuck all of you that hate it. I don't give a fuck. I love Jason X. So I'm talking about Adrian. You know, the chick that's going to perform an autopsy on Jason. And he fucking wakes up from his cryogenic sleep and fucking grabs her, shoves her face in liquid nitrogen, pulls it back up, like almost like a Halloween, you know, H2 move where Michael Myers dunks his victim in the boiling hot water. Well, this time it's liquid nitrogen, and then he immediately smashes her face that, like, it goes into gooey frozen bits, and I had never seen anything like that. I remember skipping school to see this movie and being like, holy fuck, man, that was so awesome. It's a kill that's always stuck with me. I wish Jason X got more love. You know, I wish there was more representation of Jason X shit at conventions. I mean, dude, the action figure for Jason X commands a pretty high dollar on eBay, which means that it's rare and it, you know, commands a high dollar because people fucking love it and they're willing to pay it. So that's my number 2, man.
Dude, he smashed her face into Dippin' Dots.
That's exactly what it is, man.
Literally.
Yeah. Great pick. And it's you know, no mystery that it's coming up here. But my number 2, popping in here with a pick from my favorite Friday the 13th movie. In my opinion, not only one of the best of the series, one of the best slasher movies of all time. Friday the 13th, the final chapter, a Ted White kill. Jimmy, played by Crispin fucking Glover. It's already been covered earlier, but a corkscrew to the hand and a meat cleaver to the face with a reverse shot. Yeah. I love the fact that, you know, say what you will about Savini. We've talked about him before, more in depth on our episode of The Prowler with Joe from Movie Dumpster. There was a lot of behind the scenes talk on that one. You can say what you will about Tom Savini, but he made his mark in the slasher genre with the original Friday the 13th. And then he came back to finish what he started, in his mind, finish what he started with the final chapter. And I think he really showed how much he had grown in terms of how creative he could be, his technique with the kills, and everything in this movie is perfection. And there's something about seeing Crispin Glover getting a fucking meat cleaver to the face. He's just looking for the corkscrew, man.
Yeah.
The most insane thing about doing this list is that most of these characters have either already gotten laid, or maybe the dude got the tip of his dick in and couldn't finish, or they're about to get laid and they get killed. And I love that. I just love every single bit of that. And Crispin Glover brought something to his performance in this movie as Jimmy that is unlike anything else from the rest of the entire series. He was trying to bring a performance to a Friday the 13th movie.
Classic.
Slightly unheard of, if you will. But this kill is amazing. I think it was already talked about how it's beautifully done. The lighting of the scene is amazing. It's building tension constantly. It's done quick too. And it's brutal and fast. Yeah. And I'll never get over it. I look forward to it every single time. Just imagine the pain of the corkscrew in the hand and then a fucking meat cleaver to the face.
And it's got a great build up too. Like, yes. Jason's lurking in the shadows right there. He's about to kill Crispin, but you're just waiting for it to happen, and it definitely has a good build up. And then boom.
And we all know that, people don't talk enough about Ted White's Jason, but he is one of the most vicious, one of the most brutal. Like, Brady, you had on there the shower kill earlier. It's he doesn't give a fuck. There is no plotting, really. He's just a killing machine. He is like Bruce the shark from Jaws on land, man. He's like, I don't give a fuck about I don't want to play with you. I just want to kill you.
He's also the most Jason of the Jasons when you think of it's the Jason you think of. He's stomping around the woods and just notoriously killing everybody. And a lot of the other ones have like a silly side to him, but I feel like this one's the most Jason.
And he runs.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck. I can run,
He's
man.
Quick.
I'm going to come get you.
He wears Asics in this one.
He does. He does. Yeah. All right. So that's my number 2. So ladies and gentlemen, there are no breaks on this episode. We are just going straight through. This is it. Number 1, top kill of the Friday the 13th series. I'm so excited to see where we're going with this. Kellen, it's on you, brother.
I swear to God, we've had the same kills for this entire list. And Jeremy, you have just said my favorite. It is the liquid nitrogen kill from Jason X.
Oh my God, we're all gonna go there, aren't we? Oh shit,
we're all gonna go there. It's the first one that comes to mind. It's fucking insane, and it's just perfect, man. It's every time I see it, it's like seeing it for the first time. It's just so exciting. And she, what? That's one of the characters you're kind of surprised they killed off though, because she was kind of like the nice girl, and I don't know, she got smashed to smithereens. But I did see something on YouTube recently saying that that's not really how that would happen. Like, that's not really possible with liquid nitrogen. So that kind of ruined it for me a little bit.
But who cares?
But who cares? A little far-fetched, but it works, and it's done so well. And another good build-up scene. He's laying there on the table. It's coming. You're not sure if it's going to be her or somebody else that walks in the room, but it's kind of a surprise that it's her, to be honest.
Yeah.
Good point.
But yeah, Jason X is fantastic. Gotta love Cronenberg being in there, and
oh hell yeah, dude!
Yep.
Just another great one in the theater. To be honest, that was the last movie I saw at the New Bev right before COVID. Right before they were like, all right, everybody, you're fucked. We're gonna be
Kellen. That's so
down.
funny that you say that, because right before COVID locked down, I booked Jason X at Alamo, and I was not allowed to go. Actually, I was my wife wouldn't let me. I booked it. We were doing like a special. It was before Terror Tuesday was really catching on. Like, we were trying to make it catch on. Yeah. And I was supposed to be there. I was so mad that she wouldn't let me go. And then I found out
it still happened.
It still happened. It was a packed crowd. And then I found out like 10 people got COVID from that screening. So I was actually thankful, because luckily for me, much like Jeremy, I'm old as fuck, older as fuck than he is. And I saw Jason X opening night in cinemas as a high school student with 5 other people in the theater, because that's how many people went out to see that thing when it came out. And
so sick.
So I'm lucky for that. But I mean, seeing the reverence and what people are like, a lot of people, Jeremy, you're perfectly saying, like, people love that movie now. Like, it's, you gave me some love for wearing the shirt last week on the show. Like, more and more people are showing love for that movie because they get it. They're like, oh man, this is kind of a misunderstood thing. Like, even though it's not what Todd Farmer wanted the movie to be, he really did want it to be like Alien with Jason in space, not like brightly colored fucking fluorescent lights and shit.
Did I say Todd Farmer earlier? Or did I say Patrick Farmer?
I don't know what you said. But
okay,
I think you said Todd.
Because dude, I was like, dude, wait a minute, did I mix up Patrick
Jeremy?
Lussier
You're the sober
and Todd
one on the
Farmer?
show, so
Dude, speaking of Todd Farmer, he was supposed to be at the new Bev screening I went to. He canceled because of COVID because he was too worried to come out. And the screening still happened. No, dude, it's great. It was on 35 millimeters, so that was sick. But with an audience, it's fucking incredible. And I don't know if you know our buddy Peter Vulo that does Thursday Night Terrors.
I don't think they know him. Yeah,
he's actually showing it in New York this month, like later this month.
in Buffalo, right?
Yeah,
I know a lot of people that go up there that I've met at Mahoning that are great people. So yeah, that's a great movement up there as well. Fantastic.
No, for
man.
sure. Yeah, it's been booming the last 10 years. So that's it. That's my kills.
That's number
you
one.
know.
Gotta love them. There's a lot of great other ones, but those are my faves.
My number one has also been talked about already, but it's not the liquid nitrogen kill. It's from part 4, Poor Jimmy Mortimer. I've already said it. This is my favorite of the Friday movies. I am in total agreement with Justin. I think it's not just the perfect Friday the 13th movie. I think it's the perfect 80s slasher movie. It's got everything that you could ever want from it. It's got a great score. It's got great kills. It's got likable characters that you actually get invested in. It's got twins. You can't go wrong with twins. It's got our boy Rob. He's great in it for, whatever he does. But I think that when I think of Jason killing somebody in Friday the 13th, I just think of Crispin Glover getting killed with the corkscrew to the hand and the meat cleaver to the face. And not only that, but just like, you guys talked about it a little bit, the foreshadowing into that scene, but the back and forth where he's like yelling for his friend Ted, and then it cuts to Ted just laughing at the porno he's watching on screen, and then cuts right back to Jimmy getting killed. And then later on, you see that Jason has fucking nailed him to the doorway, and then Jason just fucking like moves his body to the side when he's running after Trish. It's mean-spirited all the way through, and even when you think you're done with the kill, there's still a little something at the end where you're like, man, fuck, that's brutal. So I love it. I got it tattooed on me, the quote, where the hell's the corkscrew? I think it's great.
I love that line. Where's the corkscrew? The way he says it.
Tad?
Classic.
Number one for me. All right, Jeremy, what you got?
Good stuff.
So this list wasn't terribly difficult for me. However, there was one.
You just looked up a list of top 10 Friday the 13th kills, right?
No.
He asked Scarlett what her favorites were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like the killer clown. Woo, woo, woo. I knew what my number one pick was going to be immediately the moment that we brought up this topic, because it's the one that affected me the most. Because seeing it in theaters, I literally went, oh shit, like out loud, and everyone was like, oh my God. Like it had been a while since we had seen like a straight up like vicious Friday the 13th movie, because like, dude, we had Jason Goes to Hell, we had, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason. So we had kind of gotten more of the, like, he was almost like playing like a caricature of himself in those movies. It was played more up for entertainment and fun value and not brutal value. And dude, 2009's Friday the 13th, the Amanda kill in the very beginning of the movie.
Yep.
Where, Amanda's tied up in the sleeping bag and she's slung over this fire for her to burn to death. We already talked about this one, but like, this one got me because, I had seen some quick trailers for this film, but this kill really set the tone for me and this movie, with her in the sleeping bag and she's kicking and she's screaming and she's being burned alive in this fucking sleeping bag. It's absolutely brutal and unforgiving. And for me, what I was always like, dude, when I was watching this movie in theaters, I thought, holy fuck, we're about to get the greatest Friday the 13th film that's ever been fucking made, right?
Yep.
The first group of kids, or young adults, should I say, that we're introduced to in the beginning of this film, I don't know if you guys will agree with me or not, they're more likable than the actual cast that we get throughout the rest of the movie. Yeah, we touched
on that in our remake episode recently. We all agreed.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel, Kellen. I also agree with Jeremy that the first group of kids is way more likable, more relatable than the later group.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, so like I just in that moment I was like, holy fuck, they're about to do it. And then I didn't like the other characters as much in the rest of the film. And I remember watching this movie in theaters. I still really liked it, and I still do really like it. But I remember also being bummed because I was like, damn, like I wish they would have flip-flopped those. But I digress. It was a fucking vicious ass kill. By far and away my favorite in the franchise, because like I said, it affected me. I went, oh shit, because I just didn't see it coming and expect it to come out swinging like that. So that's my number one, man. Justonius Devonius.
I'd love to see that on the big screen again. That was a great one.
Yeah,
y'all already know. What is it?
It's Jason X.
Fuck yeah, it's Jason X. And you know what? Like, I love the fact that there's so much love for Jason X on this episode. We didn't intend it to be this way. It's not like we planned this shit, but
God intended it to be this way.
I love it, and it makes me feel so warm inside. And I'm pretty sure that when I go to bed, well, before I go to bed, when the wife is in the bedroom, I'm going to go put on Jason X and put on my favorite pair of boxers, Jeremy. My penis is going to get hard, and I'm going to masturbate while I watch Jason X and go, I'm so happy this movie is getting the love that it deserves now, 20 years later, considering the fact that it came out exactly 20 years ago. You know, it's.
And then Brady's dad pops out of the closet. The mouse!
Problem.
At my house randomly with the mouse. Oh,
is that a real thing?
He wouldn't like
man, I wouldn't be surprised with my dad.
Well, your dad wouldn't like the fact that me and Danielle used to breed rats. So, yeah, that's a thing
I think
too.
he would love your house.
Like, this rat's like this big motherfucker. But no, it's obviously a Kane Hodder kill from Jason X. Adrian, the face frozen in the cryo lab and smashed to pieces. Bro, that's the way that I get jiggy with my boys. That's when we like crush cans, if you will. Fuck that. I'm going to crush this bitch's face. Let's get crunk. I know that's a super outdated term, but I don't give a fuck.
Let's get crunk.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't heard that fucking ever.
Yeah.
Crunk. Oh,
dude, and it's crazy because like Jason is so quiet throughout all the movies. Like I really did not expect him to break the ice in Jason X. Just a little one.
I think we're gonna have to take some time
just
to
a little
recover
taste
from that a little bit. But no, for real. I mean, obviously that's the main thing we love about Kane Hodder's Jason is like his performance and his presence and what he brought to the character. And I think in particular this kill, like I love how, you know, we know it's a dummy that he takes and throws across the room after he smashes the face, but he does it with such force. Like everything he does is brutal with force, and he really always brought something special to the character. And even though, you know, the movies he is in aren't my favorites of the series, even though I have, you know, a tattoo that is specific to a Kane Hodder Jason movie, I think he's still always going to be considered the best Jason. In my opinion, my favorite Jason. I don't know what you guys think. I think we might as well go around the horn real quick, very quickly. So I'll go backwards. Jeremy, your favorite Jason?
Kane Hodder. Yeah. Like film specific or?
Yes, film specific. Yeah.
Part 7.
Ooh.
Brady.
Definitely Kane Hodder Part 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too. Actually, screw it.
And
overall, definitely.
And I'm right there with you. Best design, best performance, best presence. I mean, the movie's not the best, and I've gotten some heat over the years because I'm a huge fan of that movie. Though none of those kills showed up on my top 5. But I think it's just you have to consider like he really brought something special to that role. I'd love to bring him on the show someday. Jeremy, work your magic. Kellen, work your magic. You guys are the interview guys. You know everybody.
He's probably easy.
He probably is actually, but he's probably gonna charge you like $500 fucking dollars or something.
Dude, Robert Englund charges a couple $1,000.
That'll be the day.
Not
$1,000.
Not interested, but that's okay.
Just tell him welcome
Dude,
to
he's
prime time.
literally
Dude,
he's such a talker. He's told every fucking story ever. And then I feel like he's even made up stories too. He's like, "Oh yeah, I was on the set of Halloween. I was paid to put leaves around."
Dude, I found out he actually was.
I call bullshit. I'm still calling bullshit.
I'm telling you. No, he stopped by. He didn't do the leaves part, but I heard he stopped by. Yeah. Well, because he worked with Jamie Lee Curtis before that. So,
I mean, I drove past the 7-Eleven one time.
Dude,
Jeremy, how do we know your stories are true?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I love Robert Englund, but at the same time, like I think sometimes he's full of shit.
And while we're about to promote Fred Heads, No, but before we go any further and we get to the end of the episode, honorable mentions. This is the time to do it if you're going to do it. So I'll throw it to our guest. Kellen, do you have any honorable mentions? I'm sure you do because you're a huge Friday the 13th fan.
Yeah. Can I just list them all?
List them all, bro. Go
There's
down the
five of
fucking
them.
line, dude.
All right, baby. We got. Let's see here. We're gonna go with Freddy versus Jason, where he hits Kia with the machete and she whips into the fucking tree like a rag doll. That shit's awesome. I love that scene. I got Friday 6. He rips Bert's arm off in the woods. That's kind of fun. I can't remember. How does he actually die, though? Does he give him like a machete to the head first? I can't remember. The paintball scene.
Yeah, I thought that he just like ripped the arm off and that was it.
Yeah, well, if your arm gets ripped off, eventually you'll die. So I took it as that.
Unless maybe he's the one that gets smashed, his face smashed into the tree into like the smiley face.
I think you're right.
I think it's both of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the sleeping bag kill from part 7, just classic. Pamela Voorhees, also classic from the first one. That's like one of the main redeeming qualities of that movie, in my opinion. And just Betsy Palmer in general, she was just great in that. And then we're gonna end this with punches head off in Friday 8. Jason goes to Manhattan.
You got to throw that one in there, right?
What year was Manhattan though? I'm trying to think. Was that
89?
Before? 88. Okay. So Killer Clowns.
It's 89 because they shot it in June. They're shooting while Batman 89 was still in theaters. That's why you see the Batman 89 symbol in the background in Times Square.
Yeah, true. But
the opening shot of the movie with the title card, you see the bat symbol underneath the Friday logo.
No, yeah, I remember that. And Killer Clowns from Outer Space did like kind of a similar punching the head off like the year before in 88. So I don't know who started that whole thing, but I know those two were pretty close.
Nice.
So yeah, there's so many good kills. Let's be honest here.
Before I spout off at the mouth, B-Ratty. I know you have some honorable mentions, motherfucker.
Yeah, so number 6 for me would have been Amanda in the sleeping bag from the remake in 2009. You guys already covered it. I think it's a great fucking kill. I think that whole opening sequence is fantastic with all the deaths. I really enjoy hers. It's on my list, but after hers, it probably would have been the boyfriend who gets like pulled through the floor by Jason, and then that one's amazing. Yeah. And then number 7 would have been Liquid Nitrogen Face, which you guys also already covered. Number 8 would have been Nolan from the remake when he's on the boat and Jason shoots him through the head with the arrow. So fucking good. And then number 9 would be Vera from part 3 because, like you guys say, I do agree that it's a classic Jason kill. It's the first time that you see him in his mask. I just hate the fucking movie, so it didn't crack my top 5. I couldn't have 2 from 3 in there. Yeah, and then number 10 would have been Mark from part 2 in the wheelchair. When I first saw it, I was like, man, that's just fucking brutal. And then as I've gone through that movie so many times, it's like, there's worse. So yeah, that would have been my entire top 10. What about you, man?
I'll jump right into number 6. Would have been a Pamela Voorhees kill. Really, it's a Tom Savini kill. It's Kevin fucking Bacon, Jack, stabbed through the back of the neck and through the throat from underneath the bed. Number 7 would have come from Jason Goes to Hell, which no one talked about, really, on this shit. Breasts out and impaled through the back and ripped in half while she's just trying to get an orgasm. And dude, she was almost there. It's a great fucking
fun
kill.
movie.
It's brutal. It's a brutal fucking kill. I love it. Number 8 would have been another Ted White kill from the final chapter. Kellen talked about it early on in his list, and he inspired me with his video earlier. The Hitchhiker.
Ooh.
Random hitchhiker. No name on the actual movie, but played by Bonnie Hellman. And I said stab, through the back of the neck and through the throat. An homage to the first movie, but
she's actually related to the Hellman's mayonnaise estate. I don't know if you guys looked that up.
I didn't look it up because I don't give a fuck. But
No, I just made it up. I just made it up.
Just another lie.
Fucking hell. Dude, I actually believed that for a second.
You're like, oh shit.
Well, when it comes out of Jeremy's
got
mouth,
that mayonnaise money.
the way he
looks like
presents
she's-
everything, he's just like, I don't know, dude. You want? But
Dude,
I mean,
She looks like
again,
she reeks of mayonnaise.
y'all be talking shit about her. To me, I'm like, I'm not a fan of hippies. She's a hippie. Even though she says fuck off on the other side of her sign, I'm like, all she really wanted is to eat her banana and get a ride. She definitely ain't getting laid, no offense, but actually maybe she would have. Maybe I was that guy, Brady, like you said, in the dark, in the tent.
Quite possible.
Yeah. Poor chick gets the knife, whatever. My number 9 would have come from Jason Lives, a CJ Graham kill. Sheriff Mick Garris snapped in half by Jason, already talked about earlier on in the episode. And my number 10, and I had to include this just because I hate this movie gets so much shit. It's not the best, but it's another Kane Hodder kill from Jason Takes Manhattan. It's JJ. Dude, as a metal dude my entire life, since I was 14 years old and playing in metal bands until I was 30, basically, how could I not love seeing a hair metal chick get bashed in the fucking head to death by Jason with a flying V guitar? Granted, it's not very brutal, but still, that's her death. It's a flying V.
It's clever. It's fun.
It's awesome.
Rock and roll.
Man.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our top 5 kills of the Friday the 13th series episode, a special edition episode for you guys for, this holiday. We all celebrate it. Kellen, you know what I'm talking about, man. Every Friday the 13th, we do this, don't we? We just celebrate these movies.
We go hard. I'm literally going to sleep in the woods on Friday because I'm such a big fan.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Good luck. There's a lot of homeless people in LA. So,
You're right. I'm probably going to
I'm sure you'll get some roommates.
To be fair, I've heard they've migrated from Sunset Boulevard to the woods in all kinds of different areas. So
yeah.
But either way, I mean, just take your machete, wear a hockey mask.
Better yet, fucking take Danny Trejo with you.
Yes.
As Machete, like in character as Machete.
Yeah.
But before we go any further, Kellen, again, tell our listeners that are interested in what you do on your podcast, what you're all about, and where they can find you on social media.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. Kellen's Petty Talk Show. It's a very demeaning name that I came up with. It's basically just me giving these bullshit interviews to a bunch of actors and directors in the industry and then a bunch of bands that I like. And I always try to change up the guests and just make it kind of fresh and fun. But yeah, it's just kind of like a typical podcast, but put like a fun spin on it. We have like the fun speed round questions at the end always that people have known to love on many podcasts.
Those are so much fun, dude.
And they're they really are. Like once you get to that point of the podcast, like everybody's just having fun and just letting loose. A lot of times, like you'll do an interview and it's kind of nerve wracking if it's like somebody you're into, and that's a lot of the people that I bring on that are people that I've grown up watching or listening to. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm still working on new guests, but that's at Kellen's Petty Talk Show. So as I said earlier, that Lawrence Monison couldn't hear me. It was Kellen. That's 2 E's, 2 L's. And that's Kellen's Petty Talk Show. So Petty, Petty, talk and show. I hope you know how to spell that. That's on Instagram. And that's my social for that. And then I have a personal social. It's same. It's Kellen, Kellen, Pembleton, PEMBLETON. Yeah, that's me.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make sure to connect you with Kellen's shit in the show notes on all of our stuff on social media, as well as on Podbean, where we are hosted from. Jeremy, this is kind of like your part of the show. Like, how do they find us, man?
Mon.
You're all doomed.
Oh no, he's holding an eyeball.
Your ass stinks.
Oh shit.
Wrong franchise. Sleepaway Camp. The return to Sleepaway Camp.
Imagine if those collided.
What was it? Egg salad or a tuna salad? What was it, Kellen?
These are your choices. Egg salad or tuna salad. I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's something like that.
That is funny.
We just heard a Jeremy fart on the air. I don't think we have any more time for anything else, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's kind of the end of it.
That's it. You can find us on all social media dealios. We're on Twitter.
Yeah.
We're on the Facebooks. We're on the Podbeans. We're on the Bean Pods. Pornhub.
We're on every fucking thing. Yeah. We're on
Pornhub / Kellen Voorhees.
We're on Pornhub. We're on fucking, seriously, look up any porn site. Sure. That's where we'll be. But
yeah,
I hope you guys enjoyed this special edition Friday the 13th episode of Brain Stew. I can't scream like Stew. There it is. I can't scream like
that was a Kellen scream, dude.
It's weird, man. I was a hardcore vocalist. I was a deathcore vocalist. I was a metal vocalist, and I can't ever. I've tried in the car recently. I'm like, I think I lost it. I think I need to.
Dude,
get
I can
back
do like
to
pig
it.
squeals.
Let me hear it.
I'm not great at it, but it's.
That
sounds about right.
That's
oh my
good,
god! Now you're challenging me. Now I need to go back to my roots. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Brain Stew on the Epic Film Guys podcast. I am Justin.
Hell yeah!
I am always Jeremy.
I'm B-Ratty.
And
Colleen.
yeah, we got Kellen on the show. Kellen, our good friend Kellen from Kellen's Petty Talk Show. And until next time, we always ask you to keep it creepy.